Hello, everybody. Hi. Hello, hello. Test the sound. Hello. Perfect. All right, everybody. Hello there. So I am broadcasting from my new co-working space. It's the WeWork in Long Beach. And I'm in the communal area, as you can see here. And got some pretty good jams going, but the speaker's like right on top of me. So I'm gonna wait until a few of you guys log in, and then you can tell me whether I should move because you can't hear. But let me check the chat here. Hello, everybody. How are you guys? So yeah, if you're just tuning in, I don't know if you guys can hear me or if the music's distracting, so let me know. But today, what we're going to be talking about is I'm going to talk about a 5-step process to building an online brand. Since a lot of you guys have been following me because of Postmates and entrepreneurship and personal branding and stuff like that, I thought I would outline kind of just the process that I took to building my online brand and my YouTube channel. But really, it's just, like you can use this for, your business's brand, your personal brand, and whatever. So, okay, you know what? I'm gonna move because even I'm getting distracted. Like they play like really good jams here, and I'm just like grooving to it. So, hey Jim, what's up? Okay, I'm going to actually move, but just hang out. Just hang out for the first like 2 minutes as usual. When I get like more used to this YouTube live stuff, hopefully there won't be as much of a lag to get started. But yeah, all right. Hello. So cool to see all you guys tune in. Hello, James. My shirt. My shirt says Capital Cities Vowels. Capital Cities is my favorite band. Vowels is their new song. It's a really good song. But I went to their concert recently and had to buy the merch. So that's what the shirt says. All right. So if we're just tuning in, I said that today I'm going to be talking about how to build an online brand on social media mostly, but really just like yes, James. Oh man, so cool to see you guys tune in. But yeah, like I said, I'm broadcasting from the new office. We work in Long Beach, and it's kind of actually it's a really cool place, but the music that they play here is like it's like too good because I like end up grooving. So all right, I'm gonna move. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, just hang out for a bit. Hold on. Got the racks up to my ear. I don't know what that means. All right, guys. So how about this? Since I'm going to be talking about building an online brand, why don't you guys let me know, are you planning to build an online brand? And if so, is it for, your personal brand? Is it for a business you want to build? Is it for maybe your work or your job or whatever? You guys are so awesome. All right, hold on. Migrating. Shoot. sorry if this sounds like. All right, here we go. How's this? Let's see what the lighting looks like. Oh, this is good. Sweet. All right, guys. So, like I said, this is a new office, and I'm still trying to get used to everything. It's like, you know, ideally I would have my own office space, but I don't. So every time I come here, I have to like pack up all my stuff, and I have literally like 2 cameras, my laptop. I have to like pull my mouse and keyboard out and all this stuff, and like. It's just like, I'm still trying to figure out, you know, where I'm going to live stream from and stuff like that. So anyways, thank you for bearing with me. Let's jump into it. So, all right, building an online brand. So I was listening to a podcast earlier today that just really kind of, they used a metaphor that I think was very relevant and really just hit home for me in terms of discovering who I am as an entrepreneur. Because I think that, I mean, especially now, more than ever, it's so easy to kind of create like your own job, you know? And they had a discussion about like why people don't. And, you know, I think there's this expectation to fulfill like a societal norm, which is like, you know, you go to college or maybe you don't, maybe you just start working and you just like make money to spend money kind of thing. But like the analogy that they used, let me pull it up for you guys, because it was just so well worded. And I think like even that's why I'm so like, you know, passionate about the personal brand thing, because like even if you at this moment don't plan to do anything with it, I just think that who knows, you know, and like in the process of building a personal brand, you might actually discover like how to create a life that you can financially sustain yourself, but you're also doing something that you're passionate about. So let's see, the quote was, sometimes it's like we're a dog staring at a wall and we don't realize that there's a doggy door there yet. And we just need to wake up and learn that we can go through it. And it's a difficult challenge to separate the difference between that which you can't do and that which is merely going to be a little bit challenging, or that which is going to be quite easy, but you just don't know because you haven't tried. And I think like if someone had told me that before I'd started my entrepreneurial journey, like, I don't know, that like perfectly sums it up, because I feel like it's right there. Like if you are, whatever device that you're watching this video on, you can create, you know, your own thing, you know, like, but the thing is, it's a challenge to figure out what that thing is. So, you know, for me, passion and like what I'm passionate about, I honestly didn't discover that until I was like 31. But that's because I never thought about it. I never thought about like, you know, what am I passionate about? I grew up just thinking like, you know, I'm going to be a doctor or be in the health field because that's what everyone else is doing. That's where the money is. And that's what mom and dad want me to do. But, you know, I never kind of stopped and thought about like, what is Heather, you know, passionate about? So, hi, hello. Okay. I'm also going to be peeking in and out of the comments. So do you use a certain company for office space? Yes, Jay, I do. I use WeWork. If you haven't heard of it, they kind of are, I don't know, like the brand right now for co-working spaces. They have locations everywhere. They've just like really blown up. They started, I can't remember what their growth has been, but it's just like they're completely exploding and they have locations all over the world. My next vlog, I think tomorrow actually, is going to be on WeWork, but their model is really cool because if you have a membership to one WeWork, you have a membership to all of them. So it's great it's especially great if you travel a lot for business, because, you know, I can go to the WeWork in New York and just like stroll right in and have that be my office for the day. And it's just a really cool place because everything is like, everything is like just meant for entrepreneurs. So one of the annoying things for me was like I didn't have a printer at home. I still don't have a printer, but they have printing services, mail services here. They have coffee, they have beer, and really the most valuable aspect that I get out of WeWork is a network of other like-minded entrepreneurs and business people that I can learn from and potentially partner with and collaborate with. And like that's what is so like awful with working from home. Like it just, you know, people dream about like, oh, working from home, that must be so nice. And like, you know, you can wake up whenever you want and work in your PJs and all that. And that's totally true. Yes. But like, it's almost like it's so easy to like, I don't know, fall out of a routine. And then it's just like, I don't know. I could never do it. I tried, and you know, it's like I'm to use this office space, I'm literally like paying to work, but it's so worth it for me. So if you are considering, you know, starting your own business or becoming an entrepreneur, definitely look into a co-working space. It's like, you know, relatively affordable for what you get out of it. Yeah, so anyways, guys, like, thanks for tuning in. Feel free to, you know, chime in the comments anytime. But I'm going to go ahead and get started with like the 5-step process on building an online brand. So let's see. So the first thing is like to kind of shift how you think about sharing things online. So I think like, you know, what's so fascinating to me about all this digital media stuff is that it's still relatively new. And I think, you know, people don't think that. They don't stop and think like, wow, there was no Snapchat like 3 years ago. There was no YouTube like 10 years ago. Well, I think like 10 years ago there was, but 11 years ago there wasn't. And like, you know, the grand scheme of like our human history, this is totally new. And because of that, I think like we as a society are still trying to define like how we communicate with this stuff. And so because of that, I think people that don't understand digital media, they view sharing stuff on social media like this. Here's my life, you know, here's like my brand, my business, whatever. And you have to think about like, out of all of that, what do you share? So your filter is like, you know, share your best, like share, like highlight only what you want people to see, you know? So you have a filter of like, you know, like all of you, like say this is all you, right? You have a filter of like this, and then you only let certain things go through. But here's the difference between older generations and this new generation of say like 21 and under right now, because they were born into a world with digital media. They don't know a world without the internet. It doesn't exist for them. And what I've noticed is that they have a completely opposite way of approaching digital media, in that rather than filtering, you know, what you only want to be seen, they filter the other way. They share everything and filter like what shouldn't be seen. You know, and I think like when I talk to people about like, oh, I don't know what to share, I don't know what story to tell, I don't know like what to post on social media and stuff. I sit down with them for 5 minutes and I'm like, I have such an engaging conversation with them about something that they see is so mundane, so normal, so like unappealing. But to me, it's like fascinating. And I think just, I don't know, like that's why I really like how the next generation thinks and approaches these platforms, because it's like, you know, you might think that you're mundane and boring. But if I thought that, I would never get started. Like I would never start with social media. I would have never started with YouTube. So it's like the first thing that you have to do is just like, maybe you don't share everything, but if you approach your content, your life, your business, you know, whatever it is that you're trying to build the brand around, if you approach everything as a content opportunity and then filter what it is that you know, doesn't fit the overall story that you're trying to tell, I think that's a better way of approaching it, rather than like, you know, you like act as like a dam kind of thing, and you like, you know, prevent certain things from like going through. I don't know if that makes sense, but seriously, like I know that maybe I explained that really poorly. Hi, Julian. Hi, everybody. Maybe I explained that really poorly, but like seriously, like if you shift that, if you like have that shift in your mentality, you should be overwhelmed with content. Like every day should just be like, oh my God, like I came up with 10 social media post ideas, 10 blog ideas, like 10 ideas for pictures for Instagram. Like you should have no shortage of content, because really that's the reality. Like there's everything that you do is a possibility to be shared, right? But then you have to make sure that it fits your overall brand. So that's the first thing, to shift that. All right, I'm gonna peek into the comments really quick. Cool, I'm going to listen to you. Okay, very pleasant at home. Jay, yeah, seriously, it's called WeWork. They have a communal space where that's what I use. So you don't actually own office space. You like bring your stuff and you can like set up shop anywhere. But they also have office space, like 1-person offices, 2-person offices, and then like 50-person offices. So definitely something to look into. How proudly are you for your online brand? How proud am I of my online brand? You know, that's a good question, Jesus. I'm proud of myself and like my story, but in terms of the branding, gosh, like this is something I struggle with every day. And so I'm not that proud of it, actually. But what I'm sharing with you guys is like also for my professional career before my personal brand. So, I mean, I'm kind of taking notes as to like what I'm telling you, what's resonating with you, to implement for my own personal brand. But the reason why I'm not that proud of it is because like every day someone asks me, what do you do? What are you about? What's your business? And every single time my answer is different. And that's when you know that I don't have my branding like wired down yet. You know, I'm still trying to figure out like what is the story I'm trying to tell. Like depending on who it is, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm a YouTube vlogger. And then, you know, for some other people, I'm like, oh, I have an online school to teach people how to use digital media. And then for other people, I'm like, oh, I do social media marketing consulting. You know, so it's like, I'm just a mess in terms of like my one brand. But I'm hoping to hone in on that. So, okay, cool. So step 2, establishing your brand. So I'll use my YouTube channel as an example. So I have like 3 things that I try to hone in on for all of my vlogs for this channel. And that is entrepreneurship, vlogging, and creating. Entrepreneur, vlogger, creator. So any content that I put out, I try to have it resonate with one of these things. So depending on what your brand is, whether it's your business or your personal brand, like anything, you know, I think when people hear entrepreneurship or they hear personal branding, they think that it might not relate to them, but really it does. Like if you're passionate about gardening or fashion or music or video games, like, you know, all you have to do is start creating content, and before you know it, you're going to be in my position. Like seriously, it just takes like the time, the consistency, and the effort on your part to actually create the content. But you can very easily build an audience. Like there's no difference between me and you. So and that's what I'm just so envious of this generation, because you can literally create your own like career. I wish I was able to do that like starting when I was 15 years old, because I would have been like a legit vlogger. Let's see. If it doesn't bore the rest here, please recap what Sharespark does. Sounds fascinating to me. Sure. So Sharespark Media is the movement to educate and empower people to utilize digital media to achieve meaningful goals. And it started out because I have a very heavy background with working with youth. And my last job, I worked at a private school. And I just noticed, that's when I started to notice like this generational difference in approaching digital media. Because I would notice like the teachers and the parents and adults telling me like, oh God, these kids are always on their phones, and you know, their social media addiction and cyberbullying, and like they focus so much on all the negative effects of digital media. But then I would sit there and stare at them and be like, my career is digital media, and I've connected with people through digital media. Everything I've learned has been through digital media. And like, I think like what I wanted to do was show them the positives of digital media, but then also help them recognize that, the next generation, teenagers, like the teenagers right now, this is the world that they're going to live in. They are going to, like, no matter what industry they are in, they are going to have email or apps like Slack, or they're gonna be expected to do things like this, like communicate and collaborate with coworkers, maybe like across the world, and they're gonna have to talk on Google Hangouts or Skype or something like that. And it really takes a confidence and like a comfort to be able to talk to this thing as if it were like 50 people, And so that's kind of like, all of that is called digital literacy. And that's my passion with Sharespark, is to help people learn, just like you learn reading and writing, it's the same thing with digital media. Like, you have to learn how to not only consume digital media, but then also how to create digital media. And I feel like that's when you truly become digitally literate, which will share you could share your story and spark your potential, which is the tagline of Sharespark Media. So right now I have an online school, and eventually I'd like to, actually before I quit my job at the school, I pitched a class for a curriculum, I pitched a curriculum for a class for the high school students about learning digital media. So like, I was going to cover things from like, how to write a blog, how to make a website, how to make a YouTube video, how to, do personal branding and stuff like that. God, I just think it's so important. I think like 5 years from now, even now, like who submits resumes anymore? People are going to look at your LinkedIn profile. People are going to Google you. That's how people are going to find like what you're about and your credibility. And like, just like, how many of you guys still own a phone book? Like, if I want to go try a new restaurant, or find a new person to cut my hair or something, I go on Yelp, I go on Google. And that's how it's going to be for everybody, like for people entering the workforce, and for students applying to college and stuff like that. And so, I just feel like Sharespark is supposed to be there to help people like understand this like change that's happening right now. But I guess the problem with me is that I've come to realize that I don't think I can do this alone. I think I need a lot of other people to help me. So for now, I've been focusing on my personal brand, and I have my online school for Sharespark. But for 2017, I'm gonna have like a bunch of goals. I plan to like do classes in person. I plan to start networking groups to help them like, come together and collaborate and bounce ideas off of each other and stuff. So I have like some big goals with that. But anyway, let's see. So for your brand, pick your industry, pick your niche. Again, like if it starts with just a hobby, that's probably even better, because then like there's no pressure. You are passionate about it. You have fun doing it anyway. And, as you're trying to figure out how to become digitally literate, it's probably better to do it with something that, doesn't feel like homework. It feels like, oh, this is cool. I'm learning more about something I actually am interested in. So once you do that, it's all about documenting. So I tell people to pick the medium that they're most comfortable with. Obviously, I'm passionate about vlogging, but maybe you're not, and maybe you like writing, or maybe you're a photographer and Instagram sticks out to you or whatever. Like, pick whatever your medium is, and then just start documenting. Like, today I learned that da 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 da, or like today I heard this statistic about blah 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 blah. Like, you just start documenting stuff, and then if you're consistent, then people will just like come, and how can I explain this to you? Just look at my channel, like even I didn't really figure out, like, even I'm still in the process of like figuring out what my brand is, but the people just come, and I think a big part of that is consistency and passion. You can't fake passion. So, like, just start documenting. People love a good story, and one of the best stories to tell is like, where you are now and where you want to be. And that's just documenting. That's all it is. It's just like, this is what I'm doing today. Here are my goals, and here's my progress towards that. So if you want to, like, honestly, build a legit brand for your business or for your personal brand, check out Twitter and Medium. I think these are two platforms that are just completely underrated, which are fine with me because it kind of gives the people who understand how it works a leg up. But what I really like about Twitter and Medium is that you can filter out the crap, right? So like on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram, it's like, you can't really filter your feed. You see everything, right? So like for my Facebook, it's just right now there's a lot of animal videos, and it's so easy for me to just get sucked into watching these like, animal adoptions and like the cats doing funny things, and just like it's just such a waste of time. Like, yes, I'm entertained, but I'm doing nothing to like move towards my goal, right? But with Twitter, you can actually follow people that are just specific to your industry, and anything that they tweet out is specific to your niche or specific to your industry. And that's why like sometimes I even get overwhelmed with Twitter and Medium, because every time I log on, like even just looking at the first 5 tweets that pop up on my phone, I already have like 100 ideas. And I'm just like, oh my God, I already learned something new. Oh my gosh, I should, do that for my next vlog, or I should tweet that to my audience, and blah, blah, blah. And that's what I really like about, these platforms, is that you have these like thought leaders who like are sharing their experiences about whatever your niche is. And I guarantee you, whatever your niche is, there's definitely content out there about it, and you just have to connect with those people. So definitely like start a Twitter, start a Medium, and start consuming that content if you're passionate about it. If you just want to be a consumer of media, then that's cool. Like that's fine. But I'm a creator, and my mission is to help people create as well. So that's what I'm going to tell you guys to do, unless you guys have other questions. But yeah, so then after that, the third step would be to establish your call to action. Once you build your audience, even this is something that I'm struggling with, is, I have like 1,600 subscribers now. What is it that I want them to do? Watch my videos? Cool. Do I want to sell something to them? I would be willing to bet that at least 25% of my audience would be willing to buy something, but I have nothing to offer. And, that's why it just kind of depends. Like, for me, that's fine right now, because I'm trying to build just like an audience for my personal brand, and not necessarily sell something. But if you're a business, like, you need to figure out like, okay, if you have 1,600 subscribers or 1,600 followers or likes or views or whatever, like what is it that would be success to you? What would you want them to do? Sign up for your newsletter, go to your website, etc. Like you need to define what that call to action is, because once you have your audience, like they're like a lot of them are willing to give you money, but you just don't have a way for them to do it. So super important. And then number 4 is data. So data is super important, because that's another thing about digital media, is that this is all data driven. So back in the day with like traditional advertising, they used to have people like stand outside of like billboards and count how many cars would drive by. But now it's like I can literally tell you like how many people watch every single video, at what time they watch the videos, what age group they fall into, what country they live in, male, female. Like I can get so insanely specific with the data, and that really helps you to like when you incorporate that into creating more content that's relevant to the audience that you're trying to target. But I think what people take for granted is the source of traffic. So if there's anything that you take away from this live stream, go check out Bitly. Okay, it's bit.ly, Bitly. You may have seen these links on other social media platforms, and you may have been like, what is Bitly? Like everyone uses Bitly. So Bitly allows you to build custom URLs. So if you have like a super long URL, you can put it into Bitly and then change like the bit.ly / whatever you want, if it's not taken already. But to me, that's not really the cool thing about it. The really cool thing about it is that it can track, like you can use it to track where your traffic comes from. So even if you look in the description of this video, every single link is a bit.ly link. And if you go into my bit.ly dashboard, I can see like, okay, you know, this many people clicked on my YouTube link to go to my Instagram. Or this many people clicked on my YouTube link to go to my Facebook or to the Sharespark Media website or whatever. And then also, you know, on Instagram, I have a bit.ly link and it says, or I use it to drive traffic here. So I can see like, is that even working, you know? And actually, it's my most popular bit.ly link. So I get most of my traffic from YouTube and Instagram. And I know that because I use bit.ly. You know, and I think like, especially now, people can get so overwhelmed when it comes to digital media. There's like 5 million platforms and people feel like they have to be posting constantly on all of them. But really like, you know, pick one platform, pick one medium and win at that. And then pick like, I don't know, 2 other ones. Or start by like experimenting and then track your traffic. Like give it some time and then track your traffic. And then if you've noticed that, like for me, I was on everything, like Tumblr, Pinterest, like all these things, but I noticed that most of my traffic was coming from Instagram and Twitter. Well, then I scale the effort back on the other platforms and I go, you know, I put more effort into Twitter and Instagram. But, you know, you wouldn't know that unless you got the data for it. So definitely check out bit.ly. It's free. Hello, the cataclysm. Yeah, okay, and for bit.ly, it is free. So I think there's paid versions if you surpass a certain number of bit links, but I haven't even come close, so I don't think you guys will. Let's see, and then the last thing is automation. So again, like people get overwhelmed because it's like, oh my gosh, there's just so much to do. You could literally spend all day, all night, you know, engaging on these platforms, creating content, curating content, etc. To make my life a little bit easier, because not only do I manage my personal brand social media, the Sharespark brand social media, and then like all of my clients, I use social media management software and automation software. And there's 2 that I want to mention to you today. One is if this, then that. If this, then that. Yeah. So it's ifttt.com. If this, then that. And this is like true automation. So you can, what people do is that they create like formulas and you can install a formula and then it'll just do it. So like if you want your Instagram pictures to be tweeted as like standalone Twitter photos rather than like Instagram links, you can set up a formula for that. Or if you want like all of your Twitter posts to be like independent Tumblr blog posts, you can set up a formula to do that. And this is all free. And it's kind of crazy like what you can do with if this then that. Like it's overwhelmingly crazy. Google Drive, Gmail, YouTube, every single social media platform. You can actually automate your house too. So it's like, or like one of the cool things that I do is that I'd like to track how much time I spend at work. So Google Maps will track like how much time I spend at this GPS location and then log that into a Google Doc so that I can check it and be like, oh, cool, I spent like 8 hours at the office today or whatever. So it's like, it's very, I can't really even explain how crazy these if this and that is, but like, especially for social media, I mean, you could use it for a bunch of other things, but especially for social media, if you want to, you know, use a tool to make your life easier, definitely check out if this, then that. All right. Gito Cruz, hello. I did Postmates today and it went really good. It will only go good if you really want it. Yes, 100%. I just recently got approved for Postmates. That's how I came across Heather. Yes, a lot of people have came across me because of Postmates. And yeah, if you guys have questions about Postmates, I'm happy to help and answer. So, but yeah, the other tool that I wanted to talk about is Hootsuite. So Hootsuite is the social media manager that I use and have been using for years. It is an incredibly helpful social media platform where you can manage like all of your social media accounts in one dashboard. So you name it, like your Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. I don't know if I said that, but it's like all in one place. And I actually use it for like everything. So like all of my clients are in there, Sharespark's in there, I'm in there. And it's just like I only need like one login to go into that thing. And then in there, I can manage like everything from like, not only checking my home feed to see like what I can retweet or articles that I'm interested in, but like if anyone's mentioned me or like, use my user tag, or if they tweeted directly to me or sent me a message or mentioned me in a comment, like I can see all of that in one place. So Hootsuite, I think, is free up to 3 social media accounts. And then if you want more than that, I think it's $120 a year, which for me is like so freaking worth it. Like it just makes everything easier. I don't even know like what I would be doing without Hootsuite. It's like pretty much industry standard. So hello, Carissa. Hi. I saw your text, but I've been on this live stream, so I haven't been able to respond. Heather, I will be doing both Uber Eats and Postmates. That way I have deliveries back to back and make money faster. Have you done it that way? Gito, I have not, because I'm assuming you recently discovered me, and my goal with Postmates is to actually not do it anymore. So I did Postmates because I needed kind of a Band-Aid, because I had quit my job back in May, and around August, September, I really started to feel like a financial anxiety, because like everything was starting to run out. My credit card was like racking up. I have a car payment bill. This health insurance thing is like such a pain. Like all of a sudden I was just like, oh my God, can I even pay rent next month? Like it got really bad. So then I discovered Postmates and I started doing that. But really, like I don't care about like, whether Uber Eats or Caviar or whatever pays more. And like my goal is to not do Postmates. If you are interested in more Postmates tips, check out the live stream from last week. I actually interviewed Jermaine Ellis, who he does this all the time. So he's like pretty big in the sharing economy on YouTube. He does like all of them: Uber, Lyft, TaskRabbit, all of the food delivery stuff, and you can also check out his channel. He's a bunch of videos. He daily vlogs, so he's a bunch of videos on like tips to help you be more successful. I would love to see you put out some tutorials on actually using all these platforms. Uber Toya, I remember you. Yes, eventually that's the plan. Right now, I don't know. I haven't yet, but I will. And I know that you would find it helpful to grow your own audience for your YouTube channel. So I will do that soon. Just moved to Florida, so I do it in Tampa. Nice. Cool. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I had on the agenda today. I wanted to ask you, moving forward, I hope to have a lot of guests on the show. The show with Jermaine was obviously like super popular, but if you guys have been following me, I don't want to be like, the Postmates person. So definitely go check out Jermaine and do some more YouTube searches, because there's plenty of people already in this space and really have a lot more experience to give you tips and stuff on being like a successful sharing economy. I don't want to say employee, but like, I don't know, worker, I guess. But yeah, like I actually haven't done Postmates in like forever, but I think most of the tips that I share are just like, customer service, like 101. I do have experience like working with clients and customer service. So people, I don't know, people find my tips helpful, but it could be applied to any industry really. Yeah. So, I don't know. How you guys been? How are you doing? It's like a super short live stream. Um, I'll watch the rest later, enjoying these happy hours. James, I thought you weren't going to be able to tune in, and here you are. But yeah, I'll return for sure. Cool. Um, let's see. So since there's a couple of you guys still here, I wanted to ask you like for feedback. What is it? Is there something in particular that you'd like for me to talk about? I know like happy hour episode 1 and 2. I got a ton of questions. Like you guys were just like firing them off. And if you are just meeting me, just so you know, my background is digital strategy, social media marketing, communications, and stuff like that. So if you guys have any questions on that, I'm more than happy to answer. Yes, Elf. Hey, I remember you. I met you on the Get Subs app. I totally remember you. Uber sucks. Oh, I remember you. Uber sucks. You had some like really deep like comments on my previous video. It was like very like thought-provoking. Can't remember what it was, but it was something like, work, and like if you're not doing what you love, then you shouldn't be doing it, or something like that. Where do you not do Uber then? Because your name is Uber sucks. Yeah, and then Elf, what is your? I didn't get a chance to check out your channel, but if you have questions, I know we got into a discussion about promoting your YouTube channel. If you have questions on, how you can promote yours, let me know. Uber sucks. Everyone found me searching for Postmates. Everybody. I have some people who have discovered me. Actually, I'm really excited about this because I check my YouTube stats like every 5 hours. No, really like every hour. I'm like, it's like the most popular, most used app on my phone for sure is like my Creator Studio. But I'm excited because I'm starting to see my name as one of the search terms. Like people are typing in Heather Ramirez, and that just makes me so excited. Because it used to just say Postmates, 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 Postmates. I recently went to Iceland, so people have been finding me as they are planning their trips to Iceland, and I have so much unedited Iceland videos to get to, hopefully in the next week. But yeah, Dave, I'm new to your channel, but where can I learn more about your knowledge on social media marketing? I was a business major in marketing, but switched because I want to learn another skill. That's a good question. So Dave, I have a online school right now, which I'm still building, but there's a free class on there, and there's a class on there for online personal branding for teens. Because you're a business major in marketing, you definitely don't need that. But I'm in the process of creating a video marketing class. But really, like right now, like this is probably where you're gonna get it. I want to make more videos on it, but the Heather's Happy Hour, like people just fire their questions away and I just go at it. So I didn't like it because we are consumers, not human beings to corporate America. I could never do corporate, man. Like that's crazy. I've done like I said, my background's like social media marketing, communications, and all of this, but I did it for nonprofits and small businesses. So in a school, I don't think I could ever do the corporate thing. It's like, I don't know. It's just too big. It's just too like, I really like the personal stories and just like knowing every person. And I think that helps me to tell the story because usually it's like I'm the only one in the communications department. So I love to know like every aspect, like who each student is and like who each staff member is. And I think that helps me craft a better digital strategy. But yeah, just like fire away. What do you want to know? If there's anything in particular, Dave, I don't know. Tell me, what are you doing now? What are your goals? Where do you see yourself in 6 months? What's your 2017 year's resolution? I sort of like this topic, but I don't like it at all. And I sort of like this topic. Uber sucks. What topic are you talking about? You get Uber sucks. If you're talking about like entrepreneurship and personal branding, you should totally like if you have the thought, like even if it's like a small thought, like you guys more than ever, you are like it is so okay, I won't say it's easy, but you have the opportunity to create your own life. You know, like you don't have to go like Dave, you don't have to work for corporate America. You could totally create it, you know. The thing, it's going to be hard. I think for some people who are naturally talented, you know, you might have that one video that goes viral or whatever. The reason why it's hard is because it's never been done. You know, like no one can forge your path for you. You can learn from other entrepreneurs and you can learn from like the Richard Bransons and stuff like that, but really like, you know, their path might not work for you. And I know for my path, it's like totally unique because of all of my experiences and my personality and stuff like that. So, you know, there are a lot of sacrifices I have made to do this, but it is so fulfilling in a way that I didn't even realize that I could have out of life. It's like, I don't know. It sounds very like almost spiritual, but it's just so true. I found you because I was looking at other people who are building channels for building status for a good purpose. I'm currently doing Amazon Flex Postmates with adding Grubhub. Yes. Okay. Building channels for building status for a good purpose. Dave, explain. Do you mean like promoting like a certain cause, or like what? And are you specifically talking about YouTube channel? Like, do you want to build a YouTube channel? I can show you how I did it. Let's see. I sold some t-shirts on a shirt site, so trying to see if I can make more income off of that. The cataclysm. Yes. Okay. So my this would be my advice to you is for any brand, kind of like Nike, right? So I always talk about the Nike example, but it's because they're so good at their branding. Nike doesn't sell one product, right? And even if you watch any of their social media content or their commercial or anything, they're not necessarily promoting a certain product. It's not just a shoe. It's not just a jacket. You know, it's not just like, I don't know, an accessory. What it is the brand of Nike, that you can achieve your goals, that you can achieve victory, that all of us are capable of winning. Like, that's the Nike brand. And so for your t-shirt line or your apparel line or whatever it is, you need to establish like what you stand for, what your values are, like what emotion, I guess, it is that you want to convey to anyone who consumes your content, because that's what people buy. You know, the product is just like an afterthought. People buy into your ideas. So what is your idea that you stand for? You know, actually, you can check out my brother. He'd be a perfect example for you to, like as an example. But he just recently started an apparel company, and he's trying to target people in the fitness industry. And his brand is called Huntress. Actually, all my hats are his. So here you go. And his website is hnTR.com. I'll type it in the comments. But hnTR.com. His motto is hunt what feeds you. You know, so it's like, you know, you're very like honed in on whatever it is that'll help you achieve your goals, and you just go after it. You hunt it, you know, and that way, like when you have something like that, when you have a motto or an idea that you're selling, all of your content, like, it doesn't have to do with just like, here's a shirt that you can buy for $14 or whatever. You know, it's like you could start like tweeting articles of people hunting what feeds them or whatever your brand is, you know? So that's why it's like, if you really want to build a brand, you know, pick the platforms where your target audience is on and just start like pushing out content that reflects or that emulates whatever it is that your idea is. And then use the call to action to be like, yo, check out these t-shirts or whatever, you know? All right, let's see. To extend my options and make about $1,000 a week, haven't really started because my car has me fearing, but I'm really determined to make it happen. I used to have a business too, auto shop. Dave, if you check out my live stream from last Wednesday, I interviewed Jermaine Ellis, who I mentioned earlier is like a super popular sharing economy vlogger. But he doesn't own a car. He actually rents a car to do all of these things, like Uber, Lyft, Postmates, Caviar, TaskRabbit, like all of them. He rents a car. So obviously it is worth it for him. You know, like I can't remember how much it is to rent a car, but he does these like sharing economy jobs pretty regularly. And like, obviously it's worth it for him. So maybe like if you're worried about your car, you might want to consider renting a car. I'd like to build an app delivery service. I drive NY. I remember you. That focuses on bodegas in NYC. How to get started. What's bodegas? An app delivery services. Target the working class. What is bodegas? Bodegas? Oh, is that a restaurant? Like bodegas? Or do I sound really stupid right now? What is that? Crazy Madness the Catholic. You were taken to a Japanese website. Hold on. You know what? I don't think it's hnTR.com. I think it's... Is it not hnTR.com? I should know my brother's brand. That's so sad. Yeah, not it. I think it's hunterofficial.com. Oh my gosh. No. Dude, what is my brother's brand? My bad, Kevin. My bad. Hold on. I'm such a bad sister right now. I'm just like, there's just so much in my head. I really should know this off the top of my head. But let's see. HNTRCO.com. Type that in. HNTRCO.com. So actually, if you check out his Instagram and you want to start an apparel company, this is like, everything that he's doing is so good. And he's just starting. So like, it would be like such a good idea to follow his growth and kind of like, you know, pick his brain even. But like, there's so many things that I'm like so proud of his profile. So like, first of all, the aesthetic. Wait, can you even see this? Hold on. I want to see what it looks like on YouTube. Okay, yeah, you can't see this, but his handle on Instagram is HNTRCO official. I just typed it in the comments, right? But like, the aesthetic is really nice. So especially when it comes to products, people have a tendency to like go to the actual feed and see the whole feed, right? And if the feed, especially if you're selling something like apparel, if it looks uniform and like aesthetically appealing, that's just like, it's going to do something to a person's brain that's going to like make them more loyal to your brand. Rather than like, if you looked at mine's a mess. Like I have like black and white photos. I have like quotes. Like it's just a giant mess, but like that's fine for me because I'm not selling like a really clean like brand, right? And then because his motto is hunt what feeds you, like he has kind of like quotes and sayings of like, get started and make it happen, discover, do work, you know, like to motivate his target audience. So again, like you kind of have to determine like, don't approach it like I have a t-shirt, I want to sell it. How do I do that on social media? Because you can tell like there are plenty of like, you know, people who are selling t-shirts on Instagram where they just have a picture, like all their pictures are just a picture of the t-shirt and it's like buy this, buy this, buy this. But it's like, you know, think about what resonates with you. That would turn me off, you know? Like I wouldn't be like why is this guy always selling me, you know? But it's like if you had posts where it's like I could tag my friends who are kind of like in a similar situation, like, oh, you need your motivation today? Let me tag my friend, you know? That's when you're gonna like build your audience because people will share what resonates with them. Yeah. Okay. Bodegas are corner stores in New York City that sell convenience items like cigarettes, but toilet paper, kind of like 7-Eleven. So I drive NY. Thank you, Dave. Bodegas warehouse in Spanish. Bodegas, I was thinking Bodega Louie, which is a restaurant in downtown LA, but I think it's spelled differently. And I drive NY. If you're trying to build an app delivery service that focuses on that, Postmates already does that. I think like most people don't know that it can be used for other things beyond food. But like, yeah, that's actually what I've used it mostly for. But that might be because I'm a Postmate and I know how to use the app. But like if I run out of toilet paper, or if I'm sick, you know, like especially like when I'm sick and I'm too lazy to cook, I feel terrible, and I don't want to like get in my car and drive anywhere. That's when I bust out the Postmates app, and like it'll connect you with the closest general store. So whether that's a drugstore or a bodega, as you say, or a grocery store or market or whatever, it'll give you those like items. Jermaine, hey man, I totally just like shouted you out this whole entire channel. I hope you get more people because people continue to ask me Postmates questions. So Jermaine is tuned in, guys. Again, check him out. He's like one of the most popular sharing economy vloggers on YouTube, and he can definitely, you know, he's in a better place to give you tips and like, you know, what successes he's found. Yeah, let's see. Your hair keeps. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. God, see, thank you for telling me that, Jermaine, because people don't like tell me these things. Here, hold on. How's that? Cool. That's weird. Jermaine, do you know what bodegas are? Oh man. Yeah, so I'm gonna hang out for a couple more minutes. Let me know if you guys have questions. Okay, so Jermaine, this guy, I think it's iDrive. Yeah, iDrive NY wants to create an app that focuses on an app delivery services that focuses on bodegas in NYC. A bodega is a corner store in New York that sells convenience items like cigarettes, beer, toilet paper, kind of like a 7-Eleven but privately owned. God, I wish someone had told me that in the beginning. Thank you, Jermaine. I appreciate it. See, vlogger to vlogger. So appreciate it. Yes, Jermaine, you've inspired many a people to try sharing economy jobs. Let's see. Yeah, so any other questions, guys? I'm just gonna chill here. Do you guys have vlog ideas? Anything you want me to vlog about? I don't know how you do the daily vlogs, Jermaine. So crazy. Hi, Heather. Jim from Martins. Came across your channel in VRA. Have been in a couple of your happy hours. Really enjoy them. Martins, thank you. Oh, that's so awesome. VRA changed my life. It was like one of the best investments I made on my entrepreneurial journey. I'm glad you have done it too. I wonder if I've seen your name in the group. Let's see. Yeah. Dave, if you start a YouTube channel, you'd be surprised like who tunes in. It's like kind of crazy. Yes, I'm in Video Ranking Academy. Actually, I'm not, well, I guess you're in it if you've done it once, but yes, by Sean Cannell. That man taught me a lot about YouTube. So I think I enrolled in Video Ranking Academy, must have been in the summer sometime. And this is why I don't daily vlog, is because of VRA, and like it's hard to rank daily vlogs. So what I do is I kind of like focus on like the Postmates video. If you look at my most popular video, you can go to my channel and then search like by most viewed. That Postmates video is completely VRA optimized. Like you can, you know, download vidIQ and check it out. All the tags, check out the video description, the title even. Like that's why it just went through the roof. I use the VRA strategies in every single one of my vlogs. And if you guys have questions about that, I am totally happy to talk about it. Yeah, I drive NY. Like, this is crazy. I didn't know that you guys are all in VRA. We should, I don't know, talk in the group. Do you guys check the group on Facebook? I post in there pretty regularly. But yeah, Jermaine, I'm sure it's easy. It is easy. I know it's easy, but it's just like, I still got all these other things I need to figure out. I just have my stuff out there. I just want to make sure it's like still there. Yeah. So, what is VRA? Jermaine, you don't need this because you already have a loyal audience, and I think you have the momentum. But VRA is it's an online course by a guy named Sean Cannell, and he is at like over 100,000 YouTube subscribers. He does a lot of tutorials on like how you can use YouTube to make money, pretty much. And he goes over the tactics and strategies on how you can optimize your videos for search on YouTube. So that's like his whole online course. It's kind of pricey, but like it's such a worth it investment for me at the time. I think you're a vlogger and you've learned so much more through experience, so I don't think you need it. But I've been wanting to make videos, just preparing. I want to reach to more audiences, and if I can save them from the corporate America slave jobs, and that's my goal. I'm passionate about it. Dave, I'm right there with you, man. Like that's like what I'm about. It's entrepreneurship. That's like one of my main components of my personal brand. So like, let's talk. Like, I'm happy to help. If you've been wanting to make videos, you're never going to feel prepared. I promise. So just start. Like, there's never going to be a day where you're like, I am fully prepared to make a video today. Just start. Because you already know that your first video is going to suck. Your 10th video is going to be better. Your 20th video is going to be better. Your 50th video is going to be better. So really, like, the best way to prepare is to just make videos. Let's see. Yes, VRA equals SEO, definitely. Yeah, if you haven't heard of Video Ranking Academy, check it out. Sean Cannell. It's if you're serious about like building a YouTube channel that you can monetize, like for sure, eventually it will pay off. If you just like everything he spells out, I do with my channel, and you can see for yourself that I've seen success with it. So yes, your VRA Facebook group is how I came across your channel. How crazy. Martine, so tell me about how your channel's going. I haven't had a chance to check out your channel, but if we've went through the same online school, I'm curious to know like the other people's experiences with it. You're right. I love how you just did it and you're still trying to figure it out. I'm stuck in analysis paralysis. It's the worst place to be, man. Oh man, like I've actually documented my analysis paralysis like 2 vlogs ago. I was just like stuck. I'm like, I don't know. I'm so like overwhelmed. But like, it sounds like, you have the mindset of an entrepreneur. Like if you're not like in analysis paralysis about the videos, it's going to be about your branding. If it's not about your branding, it's going to be about like your marketing. And if not that, then your content. And if not that, then like, there's always you're never going to feel like, oh yes, today's a great day to make a video. Like, it's just always like, So yeah, just start. Been having trouble getting approved for Amazon affiliates. Oh my gosh, I drive NY. I was declined 3 times. I actually shared that in VRA. So my experience was the first time that I applied as an Amazon affiliate, I put my Sharespark Media website and then like every single social media channel I have. So my personal brand stuff is all HeatherJustCreate. I have an Instagram, a Twitter, a Facebook, all these other things. And then I have Sharespark Media, which is my business. So it has its own social media accounts, its own website, an email newsletter, and stuff like that. I put all of those things on the application because I figured like, hey, look at all these channels I'm going to be promoting your products on. Declined. Then I was like, okay, let me just put the Sharespark stuff, right? So I put only the Sharespark Media channels, declined. And I called like 3 different reps at Amazon and I was like, yo, what the heck? You know, like there are people who have smaller audiences than me. Like, why aren't you approving me? And, you know, I think one of it is based on like who's looking at your application on that day. But the other thing is also like put one source. Don't list all of them. Like even if you put your Amazon affiliate links on other social media accounts and stuff, just put the one. So I use the Sharespark Media blog, and that's all I put. So you could just like if you don't have a website, just like, you know, create a blog and just start pushing out content, and then put that on your application. And then get someone, like they don't actually process your application until a purchase is made. And then once a purchase is made through your link, it's like 24 to 48 hours that they go through the process. So I just had my friend like buy something, and then that kicked me to like the top of the queue. So you don't have to like wait, you know. Let's see. We probably talked about that in the group. If you got denied with all that, then I'll never get it. No. Like I think the reason why I got denied is because I put all of that. Like you only want to put one thing. Yeah, just put your website. Paralysis analysis is the perfect description. Yes, it is something that is something I've struggled with my whole life. You just kind of get stuck. iDrive.NY, I think what they want to see is a blog, like something that has regular content coming out. Because there's plenty of people in VRA that, again, have smaller audiences, and they got approved. So just like put up 4 blogs, you know, and spread them out. Like today, tomorrow, you know, the weekend, and then Monday. And then redo your application and then send it. And then, you know, if you already have a pending application with them, then have someone else use a separate Amazon account and make a purchase through your link. It doesn't have to be like any of the products that you promote. They just need to go through your link to buy something. They could buy like toilet paper. And then that would be associated with your Amazon affiliate account because they are using your link to be referred to Amazon. And then I promise you'll get a call in like 24 to 48 hours. Yeah, don't list everything. Just don't. Because I mean, the reps, the thing is, like, that's why it depends on the rep that you get who's like looking at your application. And if you got denied by putting all of your accounts, then try it without putting all of your accounts, you know, because they're not going to check like, oh, Heather put it on her Facebook, but that wasn't on the application, you know. So like, I know for sure they want to see a blog. That's what a lot of people in VRA have seen success with. So I actually sat on the phone with the Amazon rep who was going through my application for the 3rd time. And she like walked me through all of the posts. She was like, is this original content? Because I had my intern write it. She was like, who's Christopher? Da, da, da. I was like, that's my intern. So it's original. Like he is part of my company. And she was like, okay, yeah, you have original content. All right, still going through the modules, focusing on keywords since starting. I'm able to consistently find and rank most of my keyword phrases. Awesome, Martine's Pastries. I'm glad that you're finding success with it. Question for you, Heather. This whole gig economy, is it going to expand to greater things, do you feel, as far as flexibility and more gigs becoming available to us, etc.? Dave, Jermaine would probably agree with me in that, yes, it's going to grow. If you're talking about gig economy as in like sharing economy, yes. Like even just based on Postmates, like the growth in Long Beach has exploded. I remember getting a bunch of, I get more emails to refer other drivers than I do as a customer. I think that it's just like, that's the thing. Like it's like Uber, you know, people are always going to be willing to pay for convenience and time. And that's what Postmates and all these sharing economy apps do, is that they make people's lives easier. And there's always going to be a market for that. So I think that the more people that find out about Postmates, like all they do is try it once and then they use it all the time. And actually, like I've heard that a lot of people in Long Beach, they actually have the what is it, like the monthly membership to Postmates, because they regularly like Postmate all the time. So I think it's here to stay and it's going to grow. Amazon is shit. December is the best month to make money with Amazon links. Yes, definitely, Jermaine, because everyone is shopping for Christmas and you may have actually missed the window because Christmas, I think it's like too late to, to get stuff here in time for Christmas. Reviews across the board is my primary channel. Hardly any of my videos show up in search. So write about vlog videos. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Jermaine, because like we had this discussion last week. When they use the YouTube search bar, they are looking for something very specific. And a lot of times it's like tutorials and how-tos. So it's like how to tie a tie, so like it's hard to frame your vlog around that. And I actually shared my frustration with this in the Video Ranking Academy Facebook group, because it was something that I was so annoyed and frustrated with, because like I was like, I invested in this Video Ranking Academy, but I can't apply it to any of my vlogs, so that's actually what made me scale back on the vlogs and focus more on like tutorial type videos on my other YouTube channel. So and like for my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sharespark Media, it's very, very obvious that there's a lot of traffic. I did a video on like how to use Instagram stories, or how to build a LinkedIn profile, how to use YouTube end cards and annotations, and just people just constantly, they go to YouTube to find answers. So, it's just hard. It's hard to show up. Jermaine, it might be because you're using like very like shallow keywords. So you're not going to rank for like vlog or vlogger, because you already know that there's a million videos associated with that tag. So the key is finding the tag. Oh, shoot. The key is finding tags that have a lot of search, but have low, like a small amount of videos associated with that tag. So sometimes like if you go into the YouTube search bar and you start typing, whatever populates is the most popular keywords. So just keep going. So it's like how to tie a tie with my right hand or something, or like how to do Postmates full time without a car, like just keep going and then have that be your keyword. I think people don't realize that like YouTube tags can actually have multiple words in it. So let's see, find your niche and build your name. Yes, Curtis. Would you say you're good at SEO? I'd like to think so. Yeah, I'm not like, I never did SEO full time, but I implement, I've studied it, I've taken courses on it, and I implement it for all of my clients. So yes, low competition, high searches, exactly. What's your knowledge on it? It's kind of similar to what I've been talking about. So everything on your YouTube channel, everything on your website, everything on even the text in your Instagram descriptions, for your photos, on your blogs, like any kind of text, even the file names of your PDFs or your pictures on your website, like all of that is searchable, all of it. So you have to, it's a matter of like zeroing in on your niche, zeroing in on your target audience and figuring out like what is it that they type in, like what exactly, like the actual keyword that they type into the Google search bar or the YouTube search bar, and then associating the heck out of your, like all of your text, whether it's on your channel, your blog, your descriptions, whatever, so that it populates in the searches that they are doing. That's really kind of like the basis of SEO. So like I know for my website, there's a lot of pictures that get a lot of traffic, and that's just because most people, they don't change the file name of their pictures. They'll leave it as like image 2041, you know, and I rename it to like Postmates Long Beach. So anyone who searches Postmates Long Beach in Google is gonna get that picture, which is on my website, you know. So yeah, it's like reverse psychology. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Reverse psychology, reverse engineering. A lot of the times when you're building a personal brand, the person that you're trying to target is yourself, like in the past, right? So like, you know, think about who you were before you embarked on your journey. So like for me, it's like, you know, I was interested in social media or digital marketing and stuff like that. Or I was thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, you know, like whatever your time is. So whether it's like 6 months ago, a year ago, 5 years ago, and then just use yourself as your target audience. You know, like what do you like? What do you search in Google? What do you search in YouTube? And when it comes to SEO, like sometimes, especially with like YouTube tags, you know, you have to get creative, right? Like you can't, let's see, how do I say this? Like there's a lot of people who, okay, for example, my Postmates videos, there are some tags that I use that are Uber, you know, and the reason why I put Uber in there is because there's a lot of Uber people who haven't heard of Postmates, but it's related, you know, like they would probably be interested in Postmates. They just haven't heard about it yet. So I put those tags in there, and they are in my target audience, and that's why I use the tags of Uber and Lyft and stuff, right? So that's why it's like, you know, you have to get creative. Like if you're trying to find an audience that doesn't already know about whatever it is that you're trying to promote. So like my hope with this is that a lot of Postmates are entrepreneurs in the making, right? And that's why I did the Postmates video. That's why I did Postmates, is because I'm an entrepreneur. And so like from what I've noticed on these Heather's happy hours and from like all the comments that I get, a lot of people who watch me are entrepreneurs, you know? So it's like, if I hadn't done that Postmates video, you know, like I can't do only videos on entrepreneurship, because people who are searching entrepreneurship or entrepreneur or becoming an entrepreneur or whatever in YouTube are already entrepreneurs. Like they can go like, you know, consume Richard Branson's stuff. Like why me? You know, I'm not even successful yet. But like Postmates, you know, there's a lot of Postmates that are thinking about it. They have it in their head, like I want to eventually become an entrepreneur. I just don't know how. And so that audience is a lot more relevant for me because I'm still a newbie. And so I feel like they're able to resonate with me in a way that like Richard Branson, like freaking billionaire, you know, where's the common ground in that, you know? So it's just something to think about when you're doing like your SEO. Yeah, okay, let's see. Reverse psychology, but thinking reversely like reverse engineering. Yep. Any favorite books or blogs that inspire you? What keeps your spirit up when you're tired or wanting to lay back? My favorite book, so first of all, my two heroes in my life who have really just inspired pretty much like everything I've ever done when it comes to entrepreneurship are Casey Neistat, which most of you guys probably know. He inspires me when it comes to vlogging, creativity, digital media, and this new kind of storytelling, and like, you know, the connection that subscribers have with vloggers and stuff like that. Like I'm so interested in that. And he's like helped me to create for business and entrepreneurship and marketing and trends and like, you know, how generations think and self-awareness and all these things. Gary Vee is my hero. These two guys, like if it weren't for them, I just would not be here, because seriously, like they gave me like not only the education, the experience that they've shared, but also the validation that I'm like not crazy, because there's no one in my life who's a vlogger. Like no one else. Like people look at me like, you think you're gonna make money off of YouTube? Yeah, I do think that. It might be weird, but you know, I fully believe that I can do it. So anyway, Gary Vaynerchuk has a book called Jab, 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 Right Hook. And like, I promote that book to anyone who's trying to learn how to navigate digital marketing and digital strategy, because like he has, I don't know, 70 something case studies in it. and everything in it is just like so, like that's like the Bible for social media marketing to me. Let's see. What keeps your spirit up when you're tired or wanting to lay back? That's hard. Sometimes like if you watch my last vlog, it's like guilt was something that like would keep me in the game, because I would feel guilty by just like wasting time just sitting here or like watching TV. Or I don't watch TV. I don't have a TV, but like playing video games, like I'd feel guilty. So now I don't. Now I understand, like, even though I've embarked on this journey as an entrepreneur, I'm still human. Like I still need to be entertained. I still need like human connection. I still need to like just sit there and be a vegetable every now and then or whatever, So I can now play video games without feeling guilty. I just have to learn how to budget my time. Like there are things I gave up. Like I don't go on Facebook anymore because it's so easy for me to get caught up in like IGN videos and animal videos and like just stupid videos, I think what also keeps me in the game is Twitter and Medium, because every time, I mentioned this earlier on this live stream, but like Twitter is awesome because you can filter that feed as opposed to Facebook and Instagram. Like you can't really filter that because so much sponsored content comes through, and like so much of like your friend like this and your friend like this, like all of that comes through, and it's always just like crap. But Twitter, it's like you can choose who to follow. And with Medium, you could choose what to read, and like the content on there is usually not crap. It's very like thought-provoking, very educational, very like, it's just like really valuable content. And so like whenever I'm feeling down or just like lost about my own stuff, I either watch Casey's vlogs, I consume Gary Vee's content, whether that's like on YouTube, read his books, listen to his podcast, or I go on Twitter and Medium, or I vlog. Because like vlogging, like creating, just like, it's hard. Like when I'm creating with a purpose, I can get frustrated. But when I'm creating for the absolute sake of just creating, like for fun, then it becomes fun again. It's like, let me try to see how I can experiment creatively. So yeah, like if you asked me this question like 3 months ago, I wouldn't have been able to answer you, because this is literally something I've had to deal with recently, is like how to hang in there, how to stick it in there and just like make it through. Yeah, entrepreneurship is definitely not easy. And again, it comes down to like, you are paving a path that hasn't been paved before. Like you are doing something that hasn't been done. No one else is going to go through the same thing you are. No one's going to be as passionate as you are. No one knows what you know. Like no one is going to go through the struggle 24/7 like you are, So it's like, it's a very personal experience. And you just have to do it to kind of really understand like what you're capable of. Okay, let's see. Using your tips right now, posting a video and working on keywords. Awesome, Carissa. Like, Carissa, I'm happy. We can talk offline and I can tell you everything I know. When I make Postmates videos, vidIQ suggests Lyft and Uber as tags. Perfect. There you go. Type out those names, please. I would like to research. Yes. So Casey Neistat is the vlogger. So again, he's like the creative inspiration for me. And then Gary V, also known as Gary Vaynerchuk, is a professional entrepreneur, marketer, very successful businessman who has been at the forefront of all this digital media stuff. Like, I could just listen to this guy all day because it's like literally, he's just so my hero. He's like everything I've ever thought about digital media, he's thought it. Like he remembers the day that he discovered the internet, and he remembers everyone around him being like, the internet, what is that? That's not that's a fad. It's a new generation thing, blah, blah, blah. And he took it and was like, I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And he was one of the first users on YouTube, and like grew his channel because obviously he was the first, and obviously social media and the internet was here to stay. So like he just has like a really, like if you want to talk about hustle, this guy, I'm telling you, if it weren't for him, man. Boom. Okay. There you go. Gary V or Gary Vaynerchuk. He has Gary V. He has a Casey Neistat. You guys know he's on YouTube, right? So he used to do the daily vlogging, but Gary V is everywhere. So he has a blog. He has an email newsletter. He's on Instagram. He's a great person to follow if you're interested in digital strategy and digital marketing, because he has the resources to play with these platforms. And I guess you do too. There's really nothing stopping me from doing it. But like when Instagram Live was a thing, when it came out, he was like live broadcasting every day, because it's like you learn so much from actually using the new features. But yeah, he's a podcast called Daily V. Or is it Daily V? No, it's Ask Gary V. Sorry. He has a daily vlog called Daily V. But his podcast, like, that was, I don't know, that changed my life, honestly. Like when I'm at the gym or when I was doing Postmates even, he was definitely the #1 podcast I would listen to, because I would just be in the car, like literally getting a job, about to make a delivery, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I had to pause it and get out of my car and make a delivery, and I'd come back and I'm like, Gary, but like, talk about like, I'm telling you, like his whole like brand is to like help people learn about entrepreneurship and discover their talents and their capabilities and becoming more self-aware. And like he'll even tell you, like, you know, you want to make an extra $300 this weekend, go do Postmates, go to garage sales and like sell shit on eBay or whatever. Like he's a very practical, tactical guy to follow if you are interested in, yes, Ask Gary V, exactly. Let's see, and that book name too. The book name is Jab, 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 Right Hook. That's the social media like Bible, in my opinion. And the premise of that is when you're using social media, you need to give, and then ask. So what businesses often do is that they just promote themselves. And so you're not giving, you know, like you want to give value to your audience. And then when it comes time, make an ask, you know, don't take. That's what a lot of people, that's where like people fail at social media, is that buy my product, you know, click on this, ask. But that's after you developed a loyalty and an audience and these people, like that's why Gary is so successful. Like look at his social media, it's exactly what he does. So like he gives value, all of this for free. He does exactly like what I'm doing right now. He has like a, you know, like the podcast or the live streaming show, and people pick his brain, people submit questions. And then when it comes to like him or launching his book, he's like, all right guys, like time for the ask. I have my book coming out, you know, please buy. It's $18, whatever. And it goes through the roof. So let's see. Good night, woman. It's 10:30 p.m. here. Good night. I drive NY. Awesome. Cool. Yeah, connect. Let's connect on Facebook. And let me know if you have any questions, if I can help. Let's see. Dave, yes, totally. I'm excited to help. I guess that's another one of my tips, is that like, you know, there's room for all of us and we're stronger together. Like if you look at the collab I did with Jermaine, like I got way more views than I ever would have by myself. And so like, you know, and that's because, you know, a lot of that has to do with the fact that Jermaine actually has an audience. But, you know, for me, as I'm building my own audience, when you guys win, I win. You know, it's kind of like with Gary. It's like if I constantly give you value, then you're going to attest like a lot of what works for you to me. And so that is something that can be leveraged later, hopefully. You know, like not that I would ever like use that against you or anything, but I'm just saying like, you know, we can all help each other out. So good night. I drive NY. Let's see. Good night, man. And go see Times Square for me. It's been a dream of mine. Send a postcard. Dave, where are you from? Oh my God, I totally almost fell out of my chair. That's what I tell everyone I cared about. Hey, if I win, you win. Yes, exactly. Dave, that book is going to change your life. Start listening to his podcast tonight. It is such a good podcast. It is such a good podcast. Oh man, I can't tell you how much. Like, my dream is to eventually meet Gary and Casey one day and just tell them, like, you no idea how much of an impact you made on my life. And Gary is so cool because he knows, like, the value of, how do I explain this? Of, like, really engaging, like, being social on social media. He'll respond to your comments. Like, you know, I thought it was like a big deal, but he actually responded to one of my YouTube comments, and then, like, he did it again and again, you know, and he says it a lot in his podcast and his content. It's like, empower your fan base. That's how you build the loyalty, because they feel value. They feel special when you respond, you know? So definitely, like, that's why I respond to every comment because I'm genuinely thankful. But yeah. Okay, guys, I think I feel a lull here, so I think I'm going to end it. But Dave, I wish you the best. Chat soon. Let me know if I can help. And for the rest of you guys watching, same. You know, if there's a way that we can all collaborate and help each other, that would be awesome. So it is dinner time here, and I'm hungry, so I'm going to go and eat. But yeah. All right, cool. Thanks for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please follow me on Instagram and Twitter, because I would like to tweet and announce, like, what I'm going to be talking about during my Heather's Happy Hour in advance, so you kind of, you know ahead of time whether it's relevant to you, and you can choose whether to tune in. But Pomona, we're neighbors. I'm in Long Beach. Happy holidays. Yes, I wish you guys all happy holidays and a happy new year. I think I'll be live streaming next week, so I'll see you before the new year. But have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy your time, and yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Bye.